Hey, Jim Lewis here from Creek Show Productions, and I feel I have some explaining to do about my long absence. But just to show you where we're at, here we are at my mobile office. The unicorn's ours. Isn't it lovely? With my camera kind of propped up on unlikely looking arrangement of cinder blocks that I borrowed from the Rotary Club. This is the future site of the Rotary Club pavilion with electrical outlets provided by the Rotary Club, the electricity paid for by the government of Ontario, all along the waterfront trail, which is just over here. But the free electricity is only on the parts of the trail that have a blue center line, not the other ones. You don't get caught stealing power there because you will be charged. And you can only plead innocent once. Of course, the reason for this generosity is so that I will make use of the food trucks and this wonderful beer garden, which provides me an unlimited amount of Easy Tiger non-alcoholic lager. Notice that nowhere on the can does it say beer. It's a lager, and along with a little bit of very, very carefully controlled, moderate bits of sativa, I've managed to rebuild both of Creek Show Productions. All I know is that two things happened on May the 26th. I'd gotten to the point where I realized is I'm not just tired and out of shape from spending a very long 4 months as a couch potato, doing nothing but scrolling on the internet and wondering what the heck to do with my RRSPs, which are completely tanked. They're paying me as close as you can possibly get to precisely dick. That's still statistically significant. I decided I'd rather invest the money in me and spend months humming and hawing before I decided time to register a business name and incorporate, and to make sure that I don't have an issue with the tax man for a long, long time to come. Registered charity. And so far I've managed to give away about $1,000 in tin whistles, harmonicas, and on 2 occasions, metronome and some kind of traditional frame drum. This one happens to be my personal it's an Irish Balron. And together with the metronome. Oh, let's just go with oh, wait a minute. No. Select 5, 6. Okay. And select. Well, let's make it 6/8. So we change that to no, no, no. Okay, it's going to be a quarter. I wanted an eighth. Now let's crank this up to maybe a reasonably quick jig. Nothing breakneck. Come on, come on. And I've been taking breaks from fishing to have drum meditation. Pretty much like I'm doing right now. And yeah, that was 6/8 time. I'll fit with just about any Irish jig you care to play. Well, all I can do with the Baron after, I don't know, well, it hasn't been a year, but it's definitely been more than 6 months. I can keep a beat and I can keep people's toes down. But geez, some of those guys, when they get wound up so quick, double-ended, their drum sounds like a cat purring. I ain't there yet. Of course, one of the things that got replaced rather quickly after the, well, I get ahead of myself. A long way ahead of myself. April 26th, 2 things happened. First of all, I was feeling like death warmed over, and I had to admit to myself, stop being so proud. It's time to call for help. I need an ambulance. And along comes everyone's best buddy, Logic Security. In graffiti, we often replace the X's with swastikas. They are Oshawa's answer to homelessness. And we all know Dan Carter was just blowing smoke to get a few votes by seriously suggesting that we put the homeless on a death march and march them clear out, from Pickering all the way to Bowmanville. As if anybody's going to make it in the shape they're in. And I've been living cheek and jowl with them for years. Well, they had me pegged as a crackhead and tried to physically remove me from the unicorn's arse. Hauling on me, managed to crack both of my legs both cheeks of my ass hard against paving stones. And a little bit of a beating ensued. And I managed to get a shot in and make it count. Sort of. Scrambled back into my car, locked the door. Out comes tonfabats, of all things, that they're not supposed to have. And the security guards are calling out. Excuse me. I nearly laughed so hard I coughed up my pizza. They're calling out, "Call 911. This man is on angel dust. He has inhuman strength. He hit me in the nose so hard that it is bleeding." Into a whole crowd of people that knew I was too weak even to barely stand up. And my one and only attempt at eating took me several hours to finish a hot dog. And polished off most of the gravy before it got cold. And only had to leave behind 2 fries. After that, I just couldn't swallow another bite. And I told him, "We've already called 911. But we called an ambulance because he's in medical distress." "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. He is clearly on angel dust." And the paramedics arrive to find them beating on my car and demanding that I come out. And the paramedics called the police. And when paramedics call the police, you can bet that the police are right there, as if they weren't shadowing the whole way. I caught Logic security in a rather compromising position, and me passed out in my car with the bruises really starting to show. And statements were taken all around. Well, I'm with the paramedics saying, "I think I'm dangerously dehydrated. Can you give me some Pedialyte right now?" And he says, "No, sir. First of all, we don't have Pedialyte in the ambulance. You'll have to come to the hospital. Are you all right with that?" And I said, "Oh, a hospital would be fine." "What's that, sir? You actually want to go to the hospital?" I said, "Oh, it's not a want. I'm pretty sure it's a need." And they said, "Sir, come with me. We think you have pneumonia. And by God, it looks bad." So there I was. They determined that I had dangerously low blood oxygen levels. Delirious. Not quite thinking straight, but close enough that I'd catch myself and say, wait a minute, what the hell was I just saying? That's wrong. Got to Lake Ridge Health, and strongly in the spirit of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, we're right back to the 1970s. And the symbol of the 70s, the CAT scan, was the first test they ordered. I was down to 30% lung function. Man. Severe pneumonia, both lungs, right lung, all the way, the entire lobe. And the rest of the lung tissue just was having a terrible time keeping up. And it wasn't. So I'm on oxygen. And now I get stripped naked by volunteers. And I said, oh, better let me take off the adult diapers. Don't break the odor barrier. It's like they never heard the word don't. They think I just told them. They just went right ahead and did what I told them not to do. Oh my God, what a stench. I went from, to not only looking like death warmed over, but smelling a little bit like a dead body. God, it was disgusting. And then they started coming up with all the things that in their mind I can't do. I can't walk. Well, beg your pardon, but yes, I can. I can't breathe. Yeah, I'm kind of breathing right now. If I couldn't breathe, I wouldn't be able to speak. And none of it was making any sense to them because none of them spoke English. They're volunteers. They need volunteers from every member of the community so that everybody has somebody to talk to in their native tongue. Except me. Until the doctor finally came up and said, I don't know what you're doing, sir, but it seems to be working. You can see by the MRI, or the CAT scan, whichever one it is, that you've dislodged a great deal of it, and you've been adjusting your sleeping to let gravity haul it out for you. Sir, we're putting you on immediate antibiotics, on oxygen, 24-hour more. We don't recommend that you exercise, sir. You've been asking your muscles to exercise with neither sufficient oxygen nor sufficient nutrition for an awfully long time. And, well, that's probably why it feels like every muscle in your body is sprained. Because to a small degree, or a lesser degree, or a greater degree, or to some degree, sprained is precisely what they are. That was apparently open to interpretation. By every volunteer with any kind of certification. Just sounded to me like making actual diagnoses that were wrong, and mysterious, and completely, utterly, and laughably wrong. Except it's their policy, I've got to listen to them. There's no two ways about it. Right now, well, the wind chill is getting to me a little bit. Well, let's just set this up so we don't lose anything. And bring this to the inside. Here we go. Single seater. And sometimes in my imagination, It's my own personal spacecraft. I could turn the heat on right now, but I don't need to. Just that little bit of sun coming through the windshield. Oh, brother. Give me a minute to find the keys. And we'll see what the car thinks. Cars have the opinion that it's fully charged, which I believe it is. And the inside temperature, which is several degrees warmer than the outside temperature, I can assure you. Oh!